Hello everyone, Donna Gray here, your Stampin' Up demonstrator. Oops, sorry, my phone is not working here today. Your Stampin' Up demonstrator from the Northern Rivers area in New South Wales. I am a couple of minutes late, but I had to make myself a lovely cup of coffee because we're in for a crafting afternoon with me with my Facebook Live. So I do apologise for being a little bit late. So I just wait for everybody to pop on. I'll give you a little bit of time to get the notification to let you know that I've gone live. I can see I've got one person watching. I need to try and get it up on my tablet so I can see what's going on and make sure everything is working okay. So please feel free when you catch me live today to jump on, say hello, let me know where you're watching from. Oh, okay, I better turn that volume down. We don't need to hear my voice going. So at least I know I've got sound. Hey, Deborah, how you going? Coffee is a great idea. And you know what, Deborah, if you haven't got a coffee, go and grab a coffee. Make yourself a coffee because we can settle in for some crafting for this afternoon. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards I'm going to make this afternoon, hopefully, if I get enough time. So yeah, it'll be a wonderful hour or so watching me craft, and hopefully I will inspire you. So I can see I've got 3 people on. Thank you everyone for joining. What a wonderful Thursday it is. My week, this week, I must admit, has been totally hectic. Hubby is actually cutting an apple for me. Oh, well, you're going healthy, Deborah. I wish I could say the same. I decided to have a lovely mocha coffee. So, okay. So, just while I'm waiting for people, hey, Jessica, while I'm waiting for people to jump on, just a few bits of news and bits and pieces of what I've been up to. So, I was away on the weekend down in Newcastle with my girls for hockey. Hey, Cheryl Lee, how you going from Canada? I love that you watch me from Canada, Cheryl Lee. That's awesome. You're having lunch. Coffee later, Deborah. Sounds like a good plan. Okay, so I had a pretty busy, hectic weekend. We travelled to Newcastle, which is 7 hours away from home, on Thursday. My husband and I actually had a wonderful 3 days away. The girls actually stayed with the team. So they travelled on a team bus and stayed with the team at a motel. So Daryl and I, for the first time in 20 years, we decided that we would go take our Toyota Coaster bus that's like a motorhome, and we would have 3 days child-free. We stayed at Stockton Beach at Newcastle, which was gorgeous. It was on the beach. It was absolutely beautiful. And we had a really relaxed 3 days. I know that sounds horrible, but with no children, because the children were getting looked after with the team. So it was an awesome weekend. We travelled home late Sunday night. Oh, well, we got home around 8 o'clock or so Sunday night. The girls didn't get home until about 10:30, so we had to wait up for them and go and pick them up off the bus. But I knew my pre-order was already at my house. I knew all my catalogs were at my house. It arrived on Friday. My friend that was looking after our cats and our chooks told me that it arrived Friday, and she popped it inside for me, and I was like, oh my God, it's going to be such a huge, busy beginning of the week, because I ordered boxes and boxes of catalogs. So if you're a customer of mine, your catalogs will be in the post, and they'll be coming out to you. I've actually had a few text messages today of some customers that have already got catalogs in their hands. So I'm so excited that they've arrived so quickly. Today, hey Karen, thanks for joining. Hey Amanda, thanks for joining. So today was my final day of posting out my catalogs. So I actually just only about an hour ago went to the post office again with some parcels. So all of my catalogs for my customers and everybody that requested a catalog have been posted out. So if you requested a catalog off me, please keep an eye, stalk that postie, because they will be arriving in the next few days. So it'll be awesome. The catalog doesn't go live until the 1st of June, but at least you can browse through, get your wish list happening, and work out exactly what you want to do when it comes to the 1st of June, what you want to order. So that's an awesome time. The other thing is, if you're a Blends Club member of mine, your Blends Club have been posted out. If you are a Stamps and Card Kit monthly member of mine, I posted out the card kits and the stamp sets today. So you should be getting them either, I don't think you'll get them tomorrow, but I think early next week they should be arriving on your doorstep. So I'm just about up to date. So if you're in my VIP Blends Club, I will be doing a video when I find out that everyone has received their parcels. I'll be doing a video in our private group. And if you're part of my Stamps and Card Kit Club, once I get notice that everybody has received their kits, I will organise an event and do a live video of your class making your cards in your card kit. So I'm just about up to date. The other thing I wanted to let people know is if you purchase any of the Share What You Love bundles during the month of May off me through my online store, you will receive a free online card class free of charge sent to you if you purchase any of the 3 bundles, whether it's the small bundle, the medium bundle, or the large bundle. If you purchase it during the month of May, you will get a complimentary online card class from me for purchasing during the month of May. The other question is, if you are a person that has been thinking about joining Stamping Up and it's been on your mind, and you get your hands on this new catalogue and you really can't wait until the 1st of June, I would love to have you be part of my Wild Heart Crafters group. We're a lovely, caring, crafty bunch of girls. We have a wonderful time. We're all over Australia. It doesn't matter where you live, you can be part of my team. With the wonderful world of internet these days, we keep connected. We have weekly meetings. We have monthly challenges. People share what they've been doing. Hey, Charlene, thanks for joining. So, hey, Carolyn, thanks for joining. So, that's just a little bit of housekeeping. So, if you were wanting a catalogue, if you live in Australia and you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you're wanting a catalogue, if you place a small order through my online store, I'd be happy to send you out a catalogue free of charge. And yeah, so you've only got to jump onto my online store. And if you're on my business page, which you will be if you're watching me now, please go to the Shop Now tab and it will take you directly to my online store. If you wanted to place a small order, I would be happy to pop a catalogue in the post for you. So that's just about all the news that I have today. So I've got probably about maybe 4 cards that hopefully we'll have time to create today. I sort of wanted to concentrate a little bit on Mother's Day because it's coming up this Sunday. So I wanted to do a really nice card for Mother's Day. And I've just got a couple of other ideas. So what I'm going to do is now I'll flip you forward and we will get to crafting, which is what we all want to see, isn't it? So I'll just bear with me while I flip you forward. Okay. Okay. So now we should be right. And please excuse the mess I have on my desk. I have things absolutely everywhere. So, okay. So I'm going to use some of the new, oops, and I just spilt everything. I'm going to use some of the new coloured ink pads and some of the new stamp sets. So this was one of my favourite. This is a stamp set that I got in pre-order. I am waiting for the framelits to come because silly me, I forgot to order the framelits. I have no idea why. It was the top of my wish list and I had it all worked out exactly what I was going to order, but because I had some free stamp sets that I could claim, I actually I thought that's okay, I'll purchase the stamp set for free and then I will order the framelits. But what happened? I forgot to order the framelits. Correct. So just bear with me. We will have to today do a card without the framelits, but I will do a live video next week and show you what it's like to see the framelits in action too. It's got a beautiful set of framelits that goes with it. It cuts out a flower. It also cuts out this a massive big butterfly, which is absolutely gorgeous, and it also has a flourish of flowers that's a really intricate, beautiful die. So that will be coming next week. Oh, sorry, now I've got my laptop. You can hear me on my laptop, which we don't need to hear either. Next week I will do a video showing you that. Hey, Carmel, thanks for joining. Hey, Joni, thanks for joining me. You got the framelits and not the stamps. Well, I'm the opposite way around, Carolyn, so bear with me. I'm just having a mouthful of coffee again. Oh, that coffee is absolutely beautiful this afternoon. Okay, sorry, I've got to straighten this camera up. It's not being kind to me today. Hopefully the internet, I had a shocking time with my live videos last week. Sorry, at the beginning of this week. So I'm hoping that the internet is kind to me today and actually does the right thing. Hey, Nori, thanks for joining. Are you not new to joining me, Nori? I haven't seen you before. Thank you for popping on and saying hello. That's awesome. So I'm going to use a colour combination in this one. I'm going to use the lovely lipstick, which is a beautiful new colour. Hey, Deborah, how you going? I'm going to use the Pineapple Punch, and I'm also going to use the Granny Apple Green. So this is just going to be a fun card. I'm using a white base and just a splash of colour, and some of the cute little flowers in this set. So I'll pop those aside. So I need a bit of scrap paper because I'm actually going to stamp off. So I have a white card base, and I'm just going to fold that in half and get ready so that when we've done it, I can pop it onto my card base. Now I always burnish my card base fold with a bone folder so that it stays really nice. Now I've also got a beautiful layer of our lovely lipstick colour because I wanted to have a splash of colour on the front just behind my stamped part. Yes, you are new, Nora. Yes, I thought it was a new name that I could see. Thank you for joining. I hope you enjoy my crafting afternoon. Okay, I promise I won't go all afternoon. Hopefully for maybe an hour, hour and a half. Okay, so I'm going to use a lovely lipstick. This is our new ink pads. So the wonderful Leica Compact. Open it up and slide it. So they are an awesome combination now and a lot easier to use than our other ink pad styles. So I'm going to ink it up with our lovely lipstick, but I'm actually going to stamp it off because I'm going to do just an arrangement of these flowers. I'll pop another one there, one there, and maybe one in the middle. Okay, so I've stamped off so that I get the second generation of stamps, so it's not so bright because it is a fairly bright colour. So I've done that. Now there's another part of this stamp, and I'm going to stamp this in full-blown colour. And I've just got to line up how it's going to go with my flower. And it just gives a bit of colour to our flowers. So it gives a bit of shading and a bit of multicolour to your flowers. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. I didn't line that one up very well, but that's okay. All right, so the next thing, there's a lovely little tiny leaf here, and I'm going to use my Granny Apple Green for that lovely leaf. And everything today I'm going to stamp off because I did want a splash of colour, but I didn't want it too bright. And believe you me, these new colours are lovely and bright. So I'm just going to pop just a few little leaves around to create a little bit of greenery happening. I must admit, this stamp set was my definite must-have. I was, as soon as I seen it in the pre-order, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have it. That's cool. It's great to have the opportunity to learn and be inspired from you. Anytime, Nori, I am happy for you to join me while I craft live. And it does. It gives you some wonderful inspiration. And I know a lot of people actually craft along with me. They make cards while I'm crafting. And I find that I'm very guilty of that too. YouTube normally goes in my craft room when I'm having a bit of a creative day. So, okay, so I'm now going to close up that. And I'm going to bring in my pineapple punch. And there's another little tiny spray of little flowers that I'm just going to stamp around. I'm still going to stamp off because I really want that to be a soft spray of flowers. And mind you, if you wanted to do this really bright, you could definitely do it full strength, but I decided that that was quite nice and quite bright enough for me. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus for the next step, because I want to stamp in black memento ink for my sentiment. And what I find is sometimes with sentiments and you're using black memento ink, sometimes it doesn't ink exactly how you want it to ink, and you need to redo it again. So I find that our Stamparatus, now this is our new stamping tool. This will be available as of the 1st of June. So you agree, Deborah, with stamping off with the new colours? Yeah, they're very, very bright. And I think the beauty of it is we can get the bright look or we can get the more subtle look as well. Even with stamping off, you can see that this arrangement is quite bright. So, okay, so there's a beautiful sentiment here in this. It says, there's so much to love about you. And I think that for a lovely Mother's Day sentiment is absolutely gorgeous. So I think I'm going to use that sentiment on this card. And I might even be able to give this one to my mum, which will be lovely. Okay, so now the beauty of photopolymer stamps is that we can actually see through them. We can see exactly where we want to place it and where we want it to be. So I'm actually going to do it down here in the bottom corner because I want to leave a fair bit of white showing in this card so that it actually has a white effect with a splash of colour. So I've lined that up really nicely. I've got my plate. Now it will stick to that because it's a photopolymer stamp, and that's totally okay, but I can line that back up again up in the corner. And now I need to find my memento ink, and oh, there it is. I was going to say I did have it out, but I've got it out for another card that I'm doing this afternoon because I'm going to use some of our blends this afternoon as well. So are you saying, Charlene, you can't wait to order? Is that what you're saying? Okay, so I've inked it up with my memento ink and I'm going to stamp it down. Now, if this doesn't stamp nicely, the thing is I'm able to re-ink it up, which I think I will. It's stamped okay. It's not too bad, but I think I'll re-ink it up and stamp it one more go to get a really nice, deep, black, bold sentiment. Okay. And because I've got my cardstock up in the corner, it didn't matter that my card moved because I was able to line it back up in the corner again. And there you go. My sentiment has stamped absolutely beautifully. So I'm happy with that. So I'm actually going to, just with some baby wipes, I'm just going to clean up that stamp that I've just used. Now, with our Stamparatus, the baby wipes come in handy for cleaning your stamps, and they clean very quickly. We do have a new product, which is our Stampin' Chamois, which is this product here. And I haven't used mine yet, I haven't opened mine yet, but this is a new cleaning product as well, that you can pop it into a clear case and clean your stamps really quickly while you're stamping and while you're creating. So that is a great handy thing. And I would probably find that it would be easy to clean your stamp with your chamois as well. But I just used a baby wipe there. I'll pop that sentiment back into my stamp set so I don't lose it. and pop my Stamparatus away. Now when you store your Stamparatus, you only store one plate folded over. I've got my other plate that's in my drawer where I keep my Stamparatus, because you don't fold them over together. You could break the hinges on your Stamparatus. So if you're hanging to get your Stamparatus, it's only a few more weeks and you'll be able to order it, which is really, really fantastic. So that's about all I'm actually going to do for this card, because I want it to be quite bright and just have that nice clean white space. So I'm actually going to pop some Tombow on the back. And the reason why I use Tombow, as I say all the time, it gives me wiggle room. I've allowed just a small margin of colour on my layers. So my Tombow allows me to get a really good movement there and get it exactly where I want it to be, which is fantastic. So I will pop that up to get a bit of 3D dimension. Now, had I purchased some of the ribbons in the in colours, I would have had a lovely bit of ribbon to be able to pop on this card, but of course finances, and I was trying to work out what was the most important things to buy at the moment. Hey, Michelle, thanks for joining. Thank you for saying it's a stunning card. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to take the backings off my dimensionals, and we'll pop that up onto the front of our card. So very quick, very easy, just a spray of flowers and a nice bold sentiment, and you have a beautiful card. And as you can see, popping just that beautiful layer in behind just makes the whole card pop. I do have some embellishments. I was thinking maybe some of our lovely sticky backed sequins, adhesive sequins might go with it. That one there I think is quite nice. I think the pink will be too pink. Oh, I think we could go with that as well. Very striking. Thank you, Deborah. Okay, so I'm just going to pop some sequins on just to add a little bit of a finishing touch. And I am going to go with some of the pink ones because I think the pink ones are quite good. They're not the same tone as the lovely lipstick, but I think they still tone in quite well. So there you have a quick, easy card using our beautiful Abstract Expressions stamp set. You love that look, Cherylee? Yeah, I think it's stunning, just the beautiful striking white with a bit of colour, which is quite good. Okay, moving on to our next card. I'll pop that one aside. Okay, the next card I'm going to do, I'm going to bring in some of our blends, and I'm going to use, I'll clean up these stamps first before I go any further so I don't end up in a massive mess. Okay, so I'm using my stamping scrub here. This is a tool that I have in my craft room that I absolutely love. You use your spray mist. So if you haven't seen this before, you use your Stampin' mist. You spray your stamping mist on the wet side. We have a wet side and we have a dry side. We clean them and they come up really nice and clean and beautiful. So this is a thing that I have that sits right beside me on my desk here, so that whenever I want to clean my stamps, they are there, it's ready to go. And if you close it up, it stays quite damp for quite a while, so you don't have to keep spraying it with the mist as you go along. You love it, Charlene. I hope I'm inspiring you. That's the whole idea of crafting live for all you ladies, is to give you a bit of inspiration and get you keen to get in your craft room and stamp away. Now you can see that those photopolymer stamps stain when you use your bright colors, and that's totally okay. That is what happens with photopolymer stamps. Doesn't stop the way they stamp. They still stamp really nicely, so it's not a problem. Okay, so this is another new stamp set that I wanted to bring in and show you, and I'm going to use my blends with this one. Now, you use Memento ink when you're going to colour with your blends. You use Memento ink, it's advised, because our blends are alcohol-based markers. Now, if you have any questions as we go along here, please don't hesitate to ask me. I'm quite happy to answer questions as we go along. So this is actually designed to go with our Truly Tailored tag punch. Now, I don't have the Truly Tailored tag punch. I will get it because it is designed that you can cut out these sentiments and pop them up onto your card. So today, because I don't have that that punch, what we will do is just do without it and do just a basic layered card. Or actually, do you know what? I can cut it out by hand, so I can do that too. Okay, so I've got some beautiful Bermuda Bay cardstock, so I'll just fold that in half for my base and pop that aside, ready to go. And I have a basic black layer that's going to go behind so that it will give it a little bit of a pop with colour behind my stamped image. Now, this is a brand spanking new stamp set, never been used, so you get to watch me use my stamp set for the first time. Now, this is a trick that I do with my stamps. I take off that backing paper and I stick that to the inside of my case. And then what happens is when you go to put your stamps back, you can see exactly what's missing if you've used a stamp set and you haven't put it back. I mean a stamp, you can see that it's missing, there's a hole there. So it keeps track of your stamps. Make sure you know exactly where your stamps are and whether you've got them all put back in where they should be. Now this center bit pulls out and I'll take the backing off that. Also take the backing off that because I'll pop that center bit back in as well. So I'm just going to actually use this part of the stamp, which is this one here, because I thought it would be beautiful to do that on a card and just colour it. I think it just lent for doing our blends perfectly. So I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus once again because I want to make sure that this stamp's really nice with our Memento ink. Good tip, Deborah, about taking the backing off and popping it in. It's a way of keeping track of all your stamps. And I actually did a class, which I think Amanda that's watching, she will understand. I did a class and believe it or not, one of my stamps went missing. And I was like, how can one of my stamps go missing? I never lose stamps. And I actually found it after the class. When I was cleaning up, it was so funny. When I was cleaning up, my stamp was actually stuck on the bottom of my Stampin' Scrub, so I hadn't lost it anyway. Hey, Margaret, thanks for joining. Yeah, I like to keep track and I like to pop stamps away after I've used them to make sure that you know that they're going to be there for the next time when you go to use it. Okay, so I'm inking it up with my Memento black ink and I'm just going to stamp that down onto my cardstock. I am using the foam mat underneath here. I don't need to use it when I've got the clear mount stamps. It's more or less for our photopolymer stamps. It tends to stay in my Stamparatus all the time, so I tend to use it no matter what. You still get a really good image. It is designed mainly for our photopolymer stamps to give us that foam backing to give a bit of give while we're stamping to get a good impression. But it doesn't hurt to use it with our clear mount ones as well. So I'm going to restamp that because it wasn't quite as bright. Are you still on? Someone's sending me a message, Joni. Yes, I am still on, Joni. I don't know why you can't see me because I'm still on. I'm on my laptop and I can see myself happening. So if you've lost me, just go back out and come back in again. Sometimes that's what happens. Okay, so I've got a beautiful stamped image there. And I want that, I'm just going to pop that aside. I'll clean this stamp and pop it away while I'm going. So thanks for joining me, Margaret. I hope you're enjoying my crafting. Now, please, if anyone has any questions as we go along, if you want to ask me anything about what I'm using, I'm happy to answer any questions as we go along. So now, as you can see, I've used my stamp, and now I can pop it back into my case, and I know that's exactly where it needs to go. And I don't really know whether our stamps get out of shape, but a lot of people say, oh, it'll keep your stamps in shape. I don't think our stamps get out of shape, but at least it lends us to being able to pop them back in and know that they're all still there. Okay, I'll pop that Stamparatus away. And I think I'm going to grab a scrap piece of white, and I think I'm going to stamp one of the sentiments out of this, and then I wonder, can I know what I'll do. I'll stamp a sentiment on the back and I'll cut it out, because I don't actually want to say thank you and I don't actually want to say hello. I actually wanted it to be, because there's a lovely sentiment in here that says, big ways, small ways, love you always. I think that's a beautiful sentiment. I wanted to pop that in the center. The reason why I'm saying I'm doing what I know what I can do. This little center part here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that onto a block. Now you're going to see me do a little bit of improvisation here. I'm going to stamp that and pop it on a block. And I'm going to stamp it in a really, really light colour. I don't need much colour at all. So I might do it in, this is our new, so you get to see this colour. This is called Soft Seafoam. So I'm actually going to stamp it in the Soft Seafoam. Hey, Crafty Chrissy, how are you? Hey, Ruth, thanks for watching from the USA. Thanks for joining me. Hey, Nikki, thanks for joining me. A little bit different, Nikki, to my normal hockey thing. But yes, this is what I do when I'm not at hockey. So what I'm actually doing is I'm just stamping that, because what I actually want to do is I want to cut that out, but then I want to stamp on the other side. So I'm improvising because I don't actually have the punch. Now, if I had the punch, it would make life a lot easier. But I'm actually just going to do that. And then I'm going to cut it out with my scissors and I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to stamp on the other side. So it gives me the shape. Hey, Betty, thanks for joining. How you going? Lovely afternoon for crafting. Okay, so I'm just going to roughly cut around that. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut along here. So this is going to give me the shape. If I had the punch, as I said, I would be able to punch it out and do it like that. But this is going to roughly give me the shape, so that then I can stamp on the other side and pop it up on the front of my card. So see, where there's a will, there's a way. Okay. So I'm going to turn it over, and there you have it. I have the shape ready to stamp my sentiment on. That's okay, Chrissy. Doesn't matter that you're late. I'm here, I'm crafting, and I'm here for a fair while. So anything that you missed, you can go back and watch again. After I finish, you can go back and watch the recording, so it's all good. Okay, so I'm going to find that sentiment that was big ways, always, small ways. I think that's it there. Very hard to see when they're back to front. Okay. I'm just going to pop that onto a block. My little narrow ones. Now, just a hint too, I tell this to all my people, all my class attendees. When you're stamping, when you're putting your stamps onto your blocks, always try and pick a stamp block, an acrylic block that's going to fit your stamp nicely. The idea is to use the smallest block possible that your stamp will fit on comfortably. The reason that I say this is because if you use a big block, you'll find that if you rock the block, you'll end up with ink all over your block and you've got a chance of getting ink onto your project. So, okay, so Chrissy's asking, Donna, I missed the stamp off it, but can't you fussy cut around the black image with flowers and then you have a black border for sentiment? Yes, that can quite happen as well. Oh, the dogs will be up surely, she says. Okay, so I'm actually going to stamp this. I think I might stamp it in the Bermuda Bay because we're doing Bermuda Bay as our base. I think to bring the Bermuda Bay in, I might do it just in Bermuda Bay. And I just want to stamp down on the piece that I've fussy cut. I'm just going to stamp my sentiment in there. So I'm hoping it's going to line up really nicely and stamp nicely. And it does. Big ways, small ways, love you always. I think that's quite cute. And then I think what I might do, just for a bit of interest, is I think I might ink the edges with my ink pad. You can use one of our little sponge daubers for this. I actually don't have any on hand at the moment, so I'm just going to ink it up with my ink pad. Simple as that. It's a day for improvising today. Okay, so it just gives me a little bit of ink on my sentiment. I'll pop that aside and let that dry. And then I'm going to get my blends out and I'm going to colour. So hopefully my Memento ink will be dry enough now that we can colour nicely with our blends. So I think I'm still going to stick with the colours. So I think I'm going to bring in my Bermuda Bay blends. We have light and dark. And I actually think I'm going to use some of my old olive. And I might... what's the other colour I want to use? Okay, we'll see how I go. I am improvising here. I have no idea what I really plan to do here, but we will go with the flow. Okay, so I'm going to do this large flower. So I'm going to use the brush tip end of our blends. I'm going over with my light Bermuda Bay. Just colouring the petals of the flower. And in all honesty, our colouring, the way watercolouring and things is happening these days, you don't have to be that particular with how you colour. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, I have to stay in between the lines, but watercolouring is not perfect. And I don't think you have to panic if you go out of the lines a little bit. It doesn't matter. I'm going to try and colour this as quick as I can because you don't really want to watch me colouring all afternoon. So I'm just, with my light, I'm laying down a base of my light Bermuda Bay. Okay. And I think the centre, I'm going to do that Bermuda Bay as well. Okay, so now I'm actually going to go back through with my dark. And as you can see, the way the stamp set is designed, it has some lines here. So that's to create that deeper, darker centre to your flower. So really, it's not hard to colour. A lot of people say, I can't colour, I don't know where to shade, I don't know what to do. And in all respect, go with what the stamp set shows you. It shows you where you need to put your shading and where you need your colours. Then what I do is, just to blend that, I just go back over where I've gone with the dark, back over just to blend that in the middle. And it just takes the edges off and blends it and gives you that deeper, darker centre to your flower. I think I'm going to actually, I've bought in my smoky slate. I'm going to do, just for something different, I'm going to do some grey flowers now. So I'm going to colour those all over with my light smoky slate. I must say, I love my blends. I've never been a person to colour very much at all, but since I've got these blends, it has changed my whole world with stamping. Because now you can colour your flowers whatever colour you want, which is absolutely awesome. So I think I'll do these ones up the top here. I think I'll do them, do this one here, Bermuda Bay again. Sorry, I haven't been looking at questions. Yes, it is therapeutic, Deborah, definitely so. And I know when they bought out their colouring magazines, I grabbed them and I got pencils to colour. And as a child, I loved colouring, but I just didn't get it. It didn't do anything for me. I tried, and honestly, I just didn't. Mind you, my eyesight is not as good as it used to be. So I've just gone through with my dark again there, and then I'm just going to blend the edges again, little round circles. And I've got the darker centre to my flowers. I'll do that with the dark smoky slate as well in the centre of my flowers. And a little bit out towards the center of the petals. And then just blend those bits in. And as you can see, I've coloured fairly quickly. Hasn't taken me long at all. I'll do those ones up the top. I'll do them in the smoky slate as well. And then with this, I'm going to actually do just the edges around the bottom darker. Give a bit of shading to the flowers. Go back through with my light once again to blend those darker bits. And then I'll just use some of my old olive for the leaves. I'm using my light old olive brush tip end. I'm going down the stems. Add a bit of colour onto the leaves there. Back in with my dark. I'll just go up the vein of the leaves. Just to add a bit of depth. And back through with my light again to blend that in. I just lost my lid. It just flipped off onto the floor somewhere. Which I need to, there it is. Oh. Okay, so there you have a really quick bit of colouring. Pop those aside. Hey Laura, thanks for watching. I think this is the first time you've joined me live. Thank you for joining. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that sentiment up onto some dimensionals now. There's some little flowers in here. I'm going to stamp some little flowers around too, just to take the white look off the card. Yeah, I know, Deborah, honestly, when it comes to colouring flowers, I use any colours. It doesn't bother me. Like a lot of people go, oh, those colours, those flowers don't come in those colours. It's crafting. Doesn't matter what they come in. I'm like, that's okay with me. There you go, sentiment popped up in the centre. And now there's a cute little flower here. I think I'm going to stamp that around. I'll pop it onto a little tiny block. And stamp that. That one there. Just going to randomly stamp it around. I'm thinking I might use that sea foam, the beautiful new soft sea foam. I think I'm just gonna, I just want a hint of flowers around. I don't know whether I want to stamp off. Let me see if I want to stamp off. Do I want to stamp off? No, I want to do that full strength. That's so cute. This is the cutest little flower that I've ever seen in my life. That is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Isn't that the cutest little itty bitty flower you have ever seen? Look at that. That is so, so cute. Hey, Becca, thanks for joining. You should have been patient. That's lovely. All good, Chrissy. All good. You know what? It's each and everyone's interpretation of how they want to do something is how something looks. Okay, so I'm going to use some Tombow and line that up. And yes, you can see our blends come through the other side of our cardstock, but that's okay because it's going to get stuck down, so no one's going to see that. And they do that because they're alcohol markers. So because they're alcohol markers, they will bleed through. So once again, I've got a very, very fine, tiny border just to give a hint of colour when I pop it up onto my card. Okay, so now I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals because, as you know, I like to have 3D cards. None of this flat business. Can't cope with cards being flat. So who thinks that this stamp set is going to be on their wish list? I actually looked at it and thought, oh, wow, lovely for colouring. And I love me some blends colouring. I absolutely love getting out the blends and playing around with them. So thanks, Beck, for sharing. Okay, so while I'm taking these backings off, the usual, I love people to share my videos onto their timeline on Facebook because that helps me get out there and helps me reach more people. And the more people that I reach, the more I get my crafting and inspire other people. So, and when you actually share my video, if you live in Australia and you share my video, you must type shared in the comments and I will pop you into the entry to win a stamp set. And the stamp set that I'll be drawing at the end of this month will be the Party Pandas stamp set. So if you missed out on our Party Pandas stamp set during celebration, please feel free to share my video and type shared in the comments and you may get a chance of winning the Party Pandas stamp set because I will be drawing that at the end of May. So there you go. That's 2 cards that we've made. So now I'm going to bring in the 3rd card. Now, this is an old technique that I'm going to do. I'm going to bring in our lovely large letter framelets. And I'm actually going to do a eclipse technique card. So has anyone out there tried the eclipse card and enjoy the eclipse cards? Sorry, I'm drinking my coffee before it goes cold. Thank you for sharing, Margaret. Thanks for that. Very pretty grey flowers. They will look awesome with other colours, I think. Yes, yes. And you know what? Each and everyone is different. But yeah, I just thought I'll do the grey and the Bermuda Bay. So I'm using our large letter framelets. Now in here I'm looking for, I'm going to do Mum. Okay, so M, U, and I will use the M again. Okay, so to do the eclipse technique, what I've found is the best way to get a really nice effect is, hey Felicia, thanks for joining. It's nice to see some of my team members on here. Okay, so the eclipse technique is a wonderful technique. I find it works best if you only do minimal amount of stamping so that your letters actually stand out. So what I'm actually going to do is, I've got a white piece of cardstock here. I'm going to back it with some black, but I want to put the word Mum just in here. So I want to line that up that I know that it's definitely going to fit. And that gives me an idea of where I want to stamp. So you want some of the stamped images to go on where you're going to cut your letters out. And you want some, hey Patricia, thanks for joining. And you want some of the letters to not be stamped, okay? So I'm going to use the perennial birthday for this one. And the perennial birthday has a really nice flower that, it has the full flower here, as you can see. But it also has the separate pieces as well. And I like to use the separate pieces so you can actually stamp the flower how you want to stamp the flower. In other words, you can use green for your leaves. You can use coloured for your petals. So the reason that I do, as I said, the reason why I decided to go for the separate look is so that I can design the colour of my flower how I want to design it. Okay. So... okay, I'm just getting my stamps all organised here. I need to pop those ones back in there so I don't lose them. Back in there. Okay, so I'll mount those up onto my blocks. As you can see, these stamps have been loved to death, because it is a favourite stamp set, this perennial birthday. And thank the Lord it has been carried on into our new catalogue, so it is still available, which is fantastic. Okay, so colours. What colours am I going to do? You love the stamp set, Margaret. You can't stay long, Felicia. Popped in to see what I'm doing. Just crafting, as usual, just crafting. Okay, so I have my piece of cardstock there. I'm just going to stamp some random flowers. Now, we might use some of the new colours again. Let's try Call Me Clover for the green. We'll try... oh, what about... no, I can't do Gorgeous Grape. I actually think I might do the lipstick colour again because I've got red in the background. It's a nice reddish type of colour, so I might do the lipstick colour again as the flower. Okay, so I'm just going to randomly stamp my flower. I'm going to use full strength this time. So I'm going to one there, one here, one there, and one there. Okay. So Margaret, are you saying that you love the perennial birthday stamp set? Is that the one that you're saying you love? It's definitely a favourite of mine as well. Okay, I'm going to use the Call Me Clover for the leaves. I did actually see an eclipse card done like this just recently. I'm not sure whether it was on Pinterest or Facebook. But they actually did a card. Oops, I've stamped that around the wrong way. But that's all okay. I'll stamp a flower off on the edge so it looks like it's meant to be there. So there you go. I've done a mistake and now I'm going to fix it. Stamp a flower off the edge there that it looks like. There you go. So no one would ever know that I made that mistake there. There's also, thinking there's some little flowers. Yes, I think I might stamp some little flowers around in a different colour. I want to stamp this one. I'll do that in Crumb Cake, I think. What fancy new card I'm creating, Felicia. Just doing a bit of stamping. Not a real plan here. I'm just going with the flow. And just just come out of that one there. Okay. There's a little flower in here I think I'm going to use. It's quite cute. Just for maybe the outside part. Just like that. Okay, so now the main thing with eclipse is the cutting part of doing the eclipse. And that's what creates the effect in the end. Sorry, I'm just cleaning my stamps here so I don't get out of control. Pop them all back in. Okay, so I'm going to use our large letters. Sadly, our large numbers are going away and our stamped numbers are going away. They'll be retiring. I have no idea why Stampin' Up decided to retire them because we are all, well, I won't be selling mine. I'll still be using mine, that's for sure. But, yeah, a little bit sad to see them go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my Big Shot with my magnetic platform. Okay. And I'm going to line these up nicely on my stamped piece of cardstock. Patricia, you've never done an eclipse card? I tell you, when it first came out and it was first really trendy, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Did a class on it. The people that I did a class with absolutely loved it. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm going to line that up. I've got enough room to do my M on the end. So I'm going to run that through. And the cracking is normal. Okay, just going to take that M up. Now you must remember how they come out of your cardstock because they need to go back in the same way. So I'm just going to line that M up again, just like so, and run that through. Hey Joe, thanks for joining. I think this is the first time you've seen me join. Your mum is picking up her Stamp Club kit this afternoon and I'm giving her your catalogue for her to give to you. So I hope that's okay with you. She was going to call around to pick it up this afternoon from my place, so I asked her could she take your catalogue. So you'll have to get your catalogue off your mum. But I reckon you will be hanging to see the new catalogue and see what you can buy out of the new caddy, which is awesome. Okay, so we now have our letters. And carefully pull them out of your cardstock. Okay, now you can do this one of two ways. When you see this on here, you could do it just like that. Stick it on just like that and use your letters on another project. Totally okay to do it like that. You can pop this bit up and stick your letters down inside. That's another way of doing it. It's like a reverse technique of the eclipse technique. But I'm going to do the old original technique where what we do is we stick this layer down and then we pop the other layers up on top. So I'm going to use some of my Tombow and make sure you don't have the letters. Yeah, Deborah, you need to have the letters for this to work. You can do it with shapes and things as well. Like some people I've seen do it with hearts and things. The letters are just fantastic though because you can spell people's names. You can more or less have a sentiment happening just with your letters. So the letters make it perfect. And I can tell you the letters are an investment, but a beautiful investment, a very wise investment. I waited until I could get them as a half-price item, so that was when I bought mine. I didn't pay full price for them. They're the most expensive thing in the catalogue, I think, but you use them time and time again. So as you can see, that looks beautiful just like it is. So I'm going to fold over. I've got Cherry Cobbler as the card base. Okay, so even just that alone looks beautiful. And that is my phone, but that's okay. I'm just going to ignore my phone. Okay, so now what we need to use is our foam strips. So we sell these foam strips. These are fantastic for doing shaker cards, but also fantastic for this technique as well. So what you do is you take some of the foam strips. So I'm actually just going to grab one of them off. And turn the letters over and pop some of the foam strips along. And it's best to do this with the backing still on your foam strips. Just easier. Okay. Get another one. Hey Larissa, thanks for joining me. You did the half price letters, Patricia? Yeah, that was how I got mine. I think that's how most people buy their letters. And if you're wondering, if you're a customer and you're wondering how to get them at half price, what you need to do is hold a Stampin' Up! Party and be the host of the party. And when you're the host of the party, if the sales go over, I think it's $750. If the sales go over $750, is that correct? Any demos that are out there, please answer that question for me. I have to look at that every time when I'm trying to work it out. But I think when you reach, it's either $500 or $750, you get a half price item. So all you need to do is hold a Stampin' Up! Event and be the host, and you can get your letters for half price if the sales equate to that. Okay, so I've now got my letters all ready to go. So make sure that we line them up and we've got them all the right way. So make sure that that one, yes, that's the way it goes. So now it's just a case of taking the backing off our foam strips. And you can do, as I said, you can do this the reverse way or this way. This is the first way the eclipse technique first came out. And so you can line it up. You can do it offset a little bit so you can see a bit of the black behind, which that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to offset that just a little bit so that it gives a bit of a shadow effect behind. That's why I put the black. Hey Mari, thanks for joining. Is it Mari or Marie? I always wonder. My mum's name is Mari, so every time I see a name spelt like that, I call people Mari. So hopefully I've got it right. Thanks for joining me. That's okay. I've got another. Mari's just said that she'll have to watch from the beginning. I've got one more card to do, Mari. So I've made 2 cards and this is my 3rd. So there is a bit to watch at the beginning, which is quite good. Okay, so this one I'm going to offset again a little bit just to show that black coming through behind to create a shadow. And my last one. Deborah says she's going to save to get the letters. So true, Deborah. So true. They are a great investment. I can tell you, you will not ever regret getting your letters, your large letter framelits. There is a new set of letters coming in a new catalogue, but I still like these ones. Okay, so I've offset that one a little bit too. So as you can see, it's created a bit of a shadow effect behind, having that black in behind. So now I'm just going to mount that up onto my cardstock. And I think any mother would love, I answer to both, Donna. And yes, my name is pronounced as your mother's name. Oh, okay. Thanks, Murray. I did have it right then. Thank you. I often look at it because I think Marie, I often think that Marie would be spelt with 2 E's, like M-A-R-E-E. So that's why I always look at names like yours and think that it's Mari, because that's my mum's name. And I love my mum. I think my mum might be getting this card from me for Mother's Day. So, as you can see, cute, really lovely card. I'm just going to finish it off with a few, have I got some Diamantes here? Yes. Oops. Just going to finish it off with a few Diamantes just to have a little bit of bling. Yes, it is easier to read the word with the shadow, Deborah. So true. Hence why I do that. You can also, with your letters, you can also match your letters up on some coloured cardstock and have it that you offset the letters a little bit as well. And that can create a shadow effect as well. Just going to pop some Diamantes around. Like so. A few more. Need a bit of bling for my mum. So there you go. Beautiful, quick, easy eclipse card. It is an easy technique. I know a lot of people haven't tried it because they don't realise how easy it is to do. But fantastic, very easy technique. All the main thing is you just need the large letters to make that happen. But as you can see, quick, easy card. Okay, so moving on now to my last and final card. I'm going to use the Varied Vases, which is a new stamp set. I'm also going to use my lovely Elegant Eggplant because I have an Elegant Eggplant base and I'm sad to see Elegant Eggplant go. It was my favourite colour. As you can see, look at my fingernails. I absolutely just love these beautiful plummy burgundy colours. I decided to do a little bit of tribute to Elegant Eggplant again. So I've got an Elegant Eggplant base and I'm just going to fold that one in half. Like so. And burnish it with my bone folder. Bit of ink on me there. Okay, so that's our base folded in half. Now, I have a basic black layer once again. I also have a strip of Whisper White. Now, I'm going to do this quite basic because I'm just going to use Elegant Eggplant as my ink. Elegant Eggplant's your favourite too, Chrissy? Yes, I think everybody, I'm sure everybody loved Elegant Eggplant. Okay, so in this stamp set, there is this beautiful spray of flowers. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use that spray of flowers and I'm going to create, which I've now dropped it on the ground, I'm going to create a little strip of Designer Series paper here. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to mount that up. I'm going to bring in my scrap piece of paper once again. And I'm going to ink up with my Elegant Eggplant. Okay. So now I'm just going to randomly, sorry, I wanted to stamp off. I'm going to randomly stamp full strength, half strength, full strength, half strength, full strength there, a little bit there. So all I'm doing is creating a strip to go on my card using just that little flowery stamp, and that's enough. So that's all I need to do there. Okay, so now I'm actually going to stick that onto my basic black layer. And it's longer than I need, but I will be able to trim it off. Fabulous. Glad you used the new red because I tend to keep reds for Christmas. Do you know what? I Cherry Cobbler would have to be my most favourite red ever. But the Lovely lipstick is a beautiful, it's a pinky red, so it's actually a beautiful colour. When I seen it, I actually thought it was going to be like a really crimson pink, but it's actually like quite a red, like when you see it. So, okay, so I've popped that strip on there, and I'm going to, with my scissors, trim that piece off. Now, these strips that I'm using are scrap pieces that when I cut my bases and when I cut my layers for my cards, I end up with these strips left over. So I tend to always use my bits and pieces. This is another strip that I have left over. Now, I've done a video once before about this. I never throw these pieces away. I actually use up these pieces because they're great for decorating. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to create a strip down here. So I'm just going to pop some Tombow on there. The colour was Lovely Lipstick, Mari. No, I haven't used the Poppy Parade yet. I'm still getting there because I did actually buy all the new colours, all the returning colours and all the new colours. I actually bought the bundle. So if you're wondering about purchasing all the big colour revamp and purchasing all the ink pads, they have a wonderful deal that you can get all of the new colours that are coming all in a big bundle, and you save by doing it. And I'm sure that my team member and I, when we were at On Stage, we worked it out. I think you get about 1.5 ink pads for free by buying them all in the bundle. And I wanted all the new colours because some of the colours that were returning, I wasn't with Stamping Up when those colours were available. So I've just trimmed that off now, and that's given me a beautiful strip there for a decorative piece on the front of my card. So as you can see, once you line that up, it's starting to come together quite nicely. Tombow is the best glue. Yes, it is. Chrissy, awesome glue. Totally, yes. It's definitely the best glue. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do here now, I'm going to use my Elegant Eggplant, and I'm going to stamp just one of the vases. And I think I'm going to use this one here. Now, these are designed that we can stamp them and cut them out with our punch that goes with this set. So we have a beautiful punch, as you can see. Sorry for the glare there, but it punches out all our vases, strips of greenery for flowers and things. So it's fantastic that we have a punch that goes with it. So I'm just going to ink up my vase. Yeah, the bundle is quite good. You can get all the new in colours in one, and you can get all of the returning and the new colours in one bundle. And I think it was something like, from memory, $187 I think it was. And you get heaps and heaps of new colours, like however many of the new colours that are coming in. I can't remember exactly how many new colours we've got. But it was like quite a few ink pads. And you get, as I said, from memory, when we worked it out, it was about 1.5 ink pads you end up getting for free. So I think it's a fantastic deal. Okay, so now I'm actually going to punch that out. So now I just pop my punch in where I need it to be. And I did do a bit of a thing with the Stamparatus with this punch as well. I punched out on a sheet of cardstock all the vases so that then you could actually pre-cut all the vases and use it as a template in your Stamparatus. Pop all the pieces in, and you could re-stamp and load all your stamps up on your Stamparatus, that you could stamp quite a few of the vases all in one go. I'm just doing one today, but yeah, that's a way of doing using this punch to its full potential, and using our Stamparatus, which is fantastic. Okay, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stamp some of the flowers, which I think I'm just going to stamp just this one stem of flowers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fussy cut this stem of flowers out. And we're going to pop it onto our card. I'll just grab a block. That's not the block that I want. That's the one I want. Will it fit? Yes. Okay. So I'm going to ink that up. Actually, you know what? I've actually thought of something else I'm going to do here. I was going to do that. I'll see how that works, but I've thought of something else. I'm thinking I might do this with some white embossing on my black sheet of cardstock. I've just had a thought, people. So bear with me. I'm thinking something different. See you later, Margaret. Thanks for joining. You can always catch the replay. If there's anything that you've missed and you need to go back and have a look, you can catch the recording later on. So I'm actually going to use my Versamark and some white ink, some white embossing, I mean. That. Okay, because I love white embossing on black cardstock. Okay, pop that away. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that like that, and then I can pop. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so embossing buddy. And the reason why we use the embossing buddy is so that we don't have any oily marks on our cardstock. Versamark ink. I'm going to ink up my stamp in Versamark. And I'm going to stamp that down like that. Okay. Pop that away. Now with my scrap bit of card paper. Sprinkle my white embossing powder on. Hey Diane, thanks for joining. So as you can see, we have our white embossed flower. I'll bring in my heat tool, so bear with me, this will be a bit noisy. Thanks for joining me, Diane. Is this the first time you've watched, Diane? I'm not sure. Okay, so now we're going to heat emboss to get that to go lovely and white on the front of our card. That was a good plan. Yep. Now I'm just with some dimensionals. I'm just going to pop a dimensional on the back of my vase. Magic. Heat embossing is awesome. I love, love, love heat embossing. I think it's the wow factor of crafting. I really do. Like so. Okay. Now, I'm going to use some fast fuse to glue this down onto my base. Because I've done some heat embossing, it can tend to warp your cardstock a little bit. And because of that reason, my fast fuse doesn't want to work. This one container of fast fuse has been driving me batty. But anyway. Now I don't use fast fuse very often to pop my layers on because I like to have the wiggle room. But because I've embossed, as I said, your cardstock can tend to warp a little bit. So I do tend to use a hard glue, a hard sticking glue. Now, in place of our fast fuse, you will find that our tear and tape has taken over for the fast fuse. So the fast fuse is no longer available. It's retired. So the tear and tape is a wonderful alternative. Okay, so now I have a little strip that I'm actually going to do the sentiment out of here. It says, hoping your day blooms with happiness. And I just think that is so, so cute. And I'm thinking that it's a lovely sentiment for a Mother's Day card. I just think it's a gorgeous thing to say on a card. So I'm going to ink that up in my elegant eggplant once again. Okay. Like that. That's lovely. And I'm also, there's a tiny, tiny little flower in here. I think I'm going to put a tiny little flower just up in the corner, just to create a little bit of interest, like so. And now I'm going to bring in my trusty triple banner punch. How on earth are you going to decide which card to give to your mum? Also lovely. Do you know what, Deborah? I will make that decision later on. I honestly, my mum loves any card that I give her. So I'm just going to trim that with my triple banner punch to give me a flag end. I think it needs to be a bit smaller than that again. Like so. So I think that's pretty cute. I think I'm just going to pop that up on dimensionals up there. Now that says Darren Wallace is watching me. Are you really watching me, Darren? I know Darren from our hockey community. And it comes up quite often that you watch my live videos. I'm going to ask you when I see you this weekend, were you watching my live video? I'm just going to pop that up like that. There. And then I think I need a little bit of bling. Does everybody think I need a bit of bling happening here? Where did I put all of my bling? Oh, there it is over there. So I'm just going to pop a few diamantes, I think, on here just to bling it up. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a bit of room here. I've got things everywhere. Put my blends away. Okay, get out my diamantes again. Bit of bling is lovely. Honestly, Mari, I always put bling on nearly everything I do. It's not the same if you don't have bling. That's all I can say. I'm actually just going to do just 3 little diamantes down the bottom here. And I think that will be quite enough. What do you think, people? Okay. So I'm just going to bring back in the cards that I've done this afternoon. And thank you for everybody that has hung in the whole entire time while I've crafted. You are awesome. You are absolute troopers to stay and hang in with me all that time. So we have our beautiful Eclipse card. We have our lovely card using my favorite new Abstract Impressions stamp set, which is our beautiful toned white with a splash of colour. And yeah. So I hope you enjoyed my crafting afternoon this afternoon. As I said, please feel free, if you're watching this back later on, if you're watching it on YouTube, please feel free to share my video and type in the comments, shared, so that I can pop your name into the entry to go into my monthly draw. Never thought to use scissors to pick up bling. I use my scissors to pick up bling, Chrissy, all the time. Do not use tweezers. I don't own tweezers in my craft room. My scissors do it all for me. Thank you for sharing, Chrissy. That's awesome. What's the name of the stamp set in the second card? This one here is called, I'll bring in the stamp sets that I've used. I've used Abstract Impressions for this one. Okay, that's Abstract Impressions. That's the stamp set. Has a set of framelits, as I said, that are coming later on. I think I should get them tomorrow, actually, in the post. This one is the Accented Blooms. It's a brand new stamp set, available on the 1st of June. Or if you're a demonstrator, you're able to purchase it right now. This one was using our Perennial Birthday stamp set, which is around here somewhere. I don't know what I did with my Perennial Birthday stamp set, but it's using the Perennial Birthday stamp set and our lovely large letters. And this one here was using our new stamp set called Varied Vases with the beautiful punch that goes with it. So everything that I have used today is available through my online store. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to do business with you. It would be awesome if you would like to purchase through my online store. I do have a monthly host code happening at the moment, and I had that on my piece of paper here and it's disappeared as well. But my monthly host code, just give me 1 second and I will let you know exactly what my monthly host code is. So for anybody, as I said, that has been a customer of mine, I have sent you out our lovely new catalogue. It's in the post and you should be receiving them as we speak. I've posted one big bundle of them out yesterday and I've posted another big bundle out again today. If you are wanting to grab a catalogue off me, all you need to do is do a small purchase through my online store if you haven't already purchased through my online store, and I would be happy to pop one in the post for you once you place an order with me. They do cost me a lot of money, so so please, I would love it if you just placed a small order for you to receive a catalogue. Just going to tell you what my host code for May. So for any orders placed during May, if you use the host code X3X6 UDNA, I would be happy to pop you a handmade card in the mail. And also, if you purchase any of the Share What You Love bundles off me during the month of May, I'm offering a free online card class that goes with those Share What You Love bundles. So if you're thinking about those bundles, and they are available all through May, so you can actually purchase them. All the free items that go with those bundles, the bundles are available in our new catalogue when it goes live on the 1st of June. But all the free items that you get one free item in the small bundle, you get 2 free items in the medium bundle, and you get 3 free items in the large bundle. You will not be able to get those free items when you purchase the bundles after the end of May. So those free items are only available for the bundles if you purchase them, because they're an early release order. And the Share What You Love bundle is a gorgeous bundle. There's 3 bundles. You will find you get the Just Getting Started bundle, you get the lovely stamp set, Love What You Do, and that is totally my most favourite stamp set. So everybody that got a catalogue off me, you are getting a handmade card with your catalogue made with the Love What You Do stamp set, because it is my top #1. Absolutely, I love it stamp set. So in the Just Getting Started bundle, you get the Love What You Do stamp set, very vanilla cardstock, Grapefruit Grove ink pad, which that's one of the new in colours, Old Olive ink pad. You get a clear block E, and you get very vanilla note cards and envelopes for free. So the very vanilla note cards and envelopes are awesome. You get a pack of those. In the A Little More Please bundle, you get the Love What You Do stamp set. You also get the Make a Difference stamp set. It's an alphabet stamp set that you can stamp whatever you want using that alphabet. They've got double letters and things in it, so it's awesome. They've got the Stampin' Up! Angel Policy stamp in it as well. So if you're a demo and you're looking for that Angel Policy stamp to sell your cards, it's in it. You get very vanilla cardstock, A4 cardstock. You get the cardstock pack, which is the Share What You Love cardstock pack, which is Grapefruit Grove, Mint Macaron, Old Olive, and Rich Raspberry. The pearlized doilies, which are so stinking cute. These are the pearlized doilies. They are absolutely gorgeous. You get a pack of 24 in a pack, so you get heaps and heaps. You can use half doilies, full doilies on creating your cards, so they're a wonderful additive to your to your craft collection. You get the Grapefruit Grove ink pad, the Rich Raspberry. The ribbon is gorgeous. It's velvet ribbon, which is lovely. The Artisan Pearls, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different colours in the Artisan Pearls, which is lovely. And in that Little More bundle, you get free vanilla envelopes. You also get the free embellishment kit, the Share What You Love embellishment kit. And it has some labels in it. It has some embellishments. It has some tiny little rosettes, which are absolutely gorgeous, like sort of metallic rosettes. It has some labels. It has some baker's twine. It's a lovely little embellishment kit. That's the Little More Please bundle. It's $159.75. The Just Getting Started bundle is $98.75. And the Gotta Have It All bundle, which is absolutely awesome. And if you actually wanted to join my Wild Heart Crafters team, you could get this Gotta Have It All bundle. It retails at $222.75, but you could get it for $169 and use it as your starter kit, which is an awesome thing. And you can then be able to purchase, if you join now during May, you can do the pre-purchase before the catalogue goes live. We can buy products. That's one of the perks of being a Stampin' Up! Demo. But in the Gotta Have It All bundle, you get the Love What You Do stamp set, you get the Make a Difference alphabet stamp set, very vanilla cardstock, you get the cardstock pack of the 4 different colours, the doilies, the Grapefruit Grove ink pad, you get the Rich Raspberry ribbon, you get the Statement of the Heart stamp set, which is absolutely such a beautiful stamp. I did it just to get the Statement of the Heart stamp because I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. And it is all about what we do crafting for. But you get the Statement of the Heart stamp set, very vanilla envelopes, and you get the embellishment kit all for free with the Gotta Have It All bundle. There's a lovely textured embossing folder. This is it here. It's a beautiful flower. It's one of those deep textured embossing folders, so it creates an absolutely gorgeous embossed flower on your cardstock. So that's in the Gotta Have It All bundle. And as I said, $225 if you wanted to join my Wild Heart Crafters team. And everybody has some issues, like some people have some issues about joining Stampin' Up! And there's really no issue because you can join just to get the special. And then you get 20% discount on all your orders for the next, what are we, at the end of June will be the end of our quarter, and then you get the next full quarter before you have to make the minimum CSV. And if you don't make the minimum CSV, they're not going to charge you any money because you haven't made the minimum CSV. You just lose your discount and you go back to being a customer again. So there's no lock-in, there's no scary thing about joining my Wild Heart Crafters team. We would love to have you as part of our team. Our team is a lovely, caring bunch of girls. And we have lots of fun. We have weekly team meetings. We have team challenges every month. We've had card swaps. we've now, and everybody takes it in turn of working out what the challenges are for the month. So it's quite an awesome team to be part of, and I'd love to have you. I love to have customers as well, so don't get me wrong. You can also get the In Colour collection, so the new In Colour collection that goes until 2020, which is the Blueberry Bushel, Call Me Clover, Grapefruit Grove, Lovely Lipstick, and Pineapple Punch. You can get that in a bundle for $58.50. You get the whole 5 colours. So that's an awesome deal as well. So if you're interested in that and you wanted to find out some more information, please feel free to message me. I'm happy to chat with you anytime. If you wanted me to give you a call, I would be happy to give you a call and chat with you over the phone if you have any questions. So hopefully you all enjoyed the crafting afternoon with me this afternoon. And please feel free, if you haven't liked my business page, please like my business page and turn on the notifications so you know when I go live all the time. If you're watching this back on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and click on the little bell on YouTube so that you get notifications every time I post a video or I go live. So thank you all for hanging in for such a wonderful crafting afternoon with me. I hope you all enjoyed it. And until next time, have a lovely day and enjoy some crafting any time you possibly can get in and craft. So feel free, share my video on your Facebook page and type the word shared in the comments so you can get an entry into the monthly draw. So until next time, have a lovely day, everybody. Bye for now.